I knew we could trust you, bruh. The fact check alone from that speech was longer than Dana White's introduction. Welcome to Street Politics. My name is Reese Waters. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page. All right, Trump, you see that man? That is Aaron Rodgers. You remember how a couple years back he had about 100% approval rating? Everybody loved to watch Aaron Rodgers play, and he was able to turn that on its head in just a matter of months. That is the kind of performance we need from you, okay? People are scrambling over on the left side of the aisle. You got lawmakers calling for Joe Biden to step down. You have a ton of sympathy and goodwill after the shooting at the rally. What we need from you tonight is a performance that can turn all of that on its head. We need to find a way to remind people of who you truly are. Now, starting with the fact that all week, the RNC has been talking this message of unifying the country. We need to knock that down immediately.
This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Amazing, amazing. I did not see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. Can you start name calling again?
That's crazy Nancy Pelosi, the whole thing, just boom, boom, boom.
You went with Pelosi, crazy Nancy Pelosi, as in the woman whose husband was also attacked? That is bold. That is bold. That's a choice. That's a choice. I'll be honest, you kind of a natural at this whole turning people off thing.
In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy. Look at these crowds. You'd never have this at a convention. Look at these crowds.
You ain't never been to a convention before 2016, have you? Yeah, it shows. It shows.
North Korea's acting up again, but when we get back, I get along with them. He'd like to see me back, too. I think he misses me, if you want to know the truth.
A dictator misses you? You a wild boy. I'll be honest. You are a wild boy. Any other historical adversaries of America you got in the clip?
And he said, I understand, Your Excellency. He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls the other guy Your Excellency. I doubt it. The other guy gave him everything. I mean, what kind of a deal was that? He walked out, gave him everything.
Impressive, impressive. Now, remind people of just how old you are. Like start confusing technology.
And some of the things that we're going to do, but AI needs literally twice the electricity that's available now in our country. Can you imagine? But instead, we're spending places where they recharge electric cars. They built 8 chargers at a certain location toward the Midwest.
That was almost as wild as that whole thing about the shark and the battery.
So there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted? If the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking. Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark.
Can you believe people in this room still believe you? I know. Okay, you know what? Give them an impossible number. See if you can fix that.
By the way, you know who's taking the jobs that are created? 107% of those jobs are taken by illegal aliens. And you know who's being hurt the most by millions of people pouring into our country? the black population and the Hispanic population because they're taking the jobs from our black population, our Hispanic population.
107%? You go. And combined with the black jobs thing, well done. Well done. Now, are you sure you don't want to mention Biden? Because he really brings the absurdity out.
The damage that this administration has done, and I say it often, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States, think of it, the 10 worst, added them up, they will not have done the damage that Biden has done. Only going to use the term once. Biden. I'm not going to use the name anymore, just one time. The damage that he's done to this country is unthinkable. It's unthinkable.
What's that? Okay, Trump, I just got news that in 4 days, no one has mentioned the 2020 election being stolen. We know that that turns people off, and they've made a point to avoid it for 4 whole days. We can't have that.
We have people that are a lot less than fierce, except when it comes to cheating on elections and a couple of other things. Then they're fierce. Then they're fierce.
Now, this next one, I'll admit, is a little weird. Some people aren't convinced how deranged you truly are. You remember that obsession you have with a 30-year-old story about a cannibalistic serial killer?
Hannibal Lecter. Anybody know Hannibal Lecter? We don't want him in this country.
Did anybody see that lovely little movie? Hannibal Lecter, right? This is Hannibal Lecter. Welcome to Hannibal Lecter, because we got a lot of them right now coming into our country and already came into our country.
I said, that's Silence of the Lamb. You know what that is? Has anybody seen Silence of the Lambs? Hannibal Lecter, how great an actor was he?
Well, now that the eyes of the world are in Milwaukee, you got one more in the clip?
The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
Now, here's where we play hardball, okay? Here's where we play hardball. We're refusing to leave. Yeah, no, we're refusing to leave. Let's keep people hostage and infuriate even the most ardent supporters. You know how we make people start leaving at the rallies?
With praise, real praise. So let's see how that turns out. Arizona, it's a big deal. And a lot of things are happening now in the state of Georgia. With all of these cancellations and all of those things that they're taking out of the system. All of the dead people had their money. Some of the dead people requested an application and they voted.
But they have nothing to do with it.
Even 30% of Democrats think it was cheating.
Like the people that show up to your rallies have to leave because you refuse to walk off stage. Yeah, we're going to do that now on the biggest stage. I think you did it. I'll be honest. I think you did it. I knew we could trust you, bruh. The fact check alone from that speech was longer than Dana White's introduction.
Remarkably long acceptance speech, Jake, and a remarkably dishonest acceptance speech. I counted at least 22 false claims from Donald Trump on first listen. Let's start with one of the wildest claims he made. Listen to what he said about the state of the world when he was president.
The world was at peace. Our opponents inherited a world at peace and turned it into a planet of war. We're in a planet of war. The whole world was at peace, and now the world is blowing up around us.
This is false. Trump did not achieve world peace when he was president, certainly wasn't at peace when he left office. There were active wars or armed conflicts in dozens of nations in 2020, 51 by one research institution's count, and then 51 again in 2021. Trump handed President Biden ongoing civil wars in Yemen and Syria, of course, an unresolved Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Israeli-Iranian conflict, a war in Ethiopia. I could go on for a while, but I don't have time because there were so many other false claims. So let's adjust some of those, not even all of them. He repeated his usual lie about Democrats having cheated in the 2020 election. It's nonsense. He said crime is going up. The opposite is true. It's gone sharply down in 2023 and early 2024, is now lower than it was under Trump in 2020. He said we have the worst inflation we've ever had. Again, not even close. It is 3% right now. The U.S. record is 23.7%. He said there was no inflation under him. It was low, of course, but not non-existent. It was 8% total for his presidency, 1.4% year over year in the month he left office. He said the price of groceries is up 57% under Biden. It's actually 21%. He said Democrats are proposing to quadruple people's taxes. That is imaginary. He said his tax cut was the largest in American history, not even close again. He said the Biden administration does nothing to stop migrants. Well, the administration tried to get Congress to pass a bill to tighten the border, and after Trump himself helped to kill that bill, Biden took executive action to tighten the border. Trump said he stopped human trafficking. Again, not true. He said China stopped buying oil from Iran under him. Also did not happen. He said foreign governments are deliberately sending criminals and mental health patients to the U.S. as migrants. His own campaign has been unable to provide proof for that. I certainly haven't found any myself. He said we defeated ISIS, 100% of ISIS, in a couple of months. In fact, the ISIS caliphate was declared fully liberated more than 2 years into his presidency. And there were other exaggerations about trade with China, about North Korean missile launches, about gas prices, about IRS agents. So it just went on and on and on in terms of falsehood, just like the speech went on and on and on itself.
It was this one for me, though. It was this one for me. This was your Heisman moment.
We will restore and renovate our nation's once great cities, making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And that includes our nation's capital, which is a horrible killing field. So many things. They leave from Wisconsin, they go to look at the Washington Monument, they end up getting stabbed, killed, or shot.
You know what's so funny? I actually streamed that part of the speech from the Washington Monument with some people in Badgers t-shirts. Yeah. They was eating cheese curd gelato. I think you did it, Trump. I think you successfully turned the tide again. Wait, what? Oh, you not finished? You snubbed your own daughter? Hey, Trump, is this payback from a couple years ago?
Another one of those events where grading the conversation we just saw. Grudge
holding on the national stage by withholding affection. Wow. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that is amazing. In fact, I wasn't going to ask you this before, but I know it meant a lot to some people that Melania finally made an appearance. Obviously, that check cleared. Can you find a way to make that weird? You know what? Now that I think about it, why didn't Melania speak?
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values. Like, you work hard for what you want in life.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
That you treat people with dignity and respect.
That you treat people with respect.
Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I got it. Now, send people home just disgusted. Like, you've gone 95% of the way and you have knocked it out of the park. I need their lasting image to be something so devastating and infuriating that they will associate it with the RNC for years to come. Like, something that nobody's going to enjoy. Put Kid Rock on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the most patriotic American band.